Hi, I'm Reverend Jake Zabel, and welcome to Children's Bible Stories. Alright children, our Bible story for today is going to be the vision of the loaf of bread. And so, Gideon was sleeping, and he was getting ready for this big battle against the Midianites and the Amalekites. And it happened that the Lord came to him and said, "Arise, I want you to go down into the camp of the Midianites. And if you are afraid, take with you Purah, your servant, to be with you, so you're not so afraid." And this is something interesting in the story of Gideon. God, multiple times, condescends to Gideon in order to comfort Gideon. He gives Gideon a number of different signs. The signs of the sacrifice and the rock, the sign of the fleece, to try and encourage Gideon that yes, the Lord is with him. And now he's going to send Gideon down into the camp to give him another sign that Gideon can have to comfort him, to know that the Lord really is with him. And so Gideon and his servants snuck down into the camp of the Midianites. And at first, as they were going through, they saw how numerous the camp was. That the Midianites and the Amalekites were like a swarm of locusts, and that their camels were without number like the sand on the seashore. So Gideon and his servant went down into the camp quite afraid, going, "I don't know how we're going to defeat all these Midianites. There's so many of them." But they came, and Gideon and his companion were sitting outside of one of the Midianite tents. So I know this looks like a house, children, but for this video we're going to pretend that it's a tent. And inside the tent there were a group of Midianite men talking, and one of them said, "I'm very afraid." And they're like, "What? Why are you afraid?" "I'm afraid of these Israelites." But they're so weak, and there's so few of them. Why should you be afraid?" And he said, "Look, I had this dream, and in my dream there was this barley loaf, a little barley loaf, and it came rolling into the camp of the Midianites, and it hit the corner of a tent, and the whole tent fell over. And I realized that this was a vision that God was going to send a little force into the Midianites and knock us all over." He says this can be nothing else but the sword of Gideon, the man of Israel. Into his hand God has delivered Midianite and the whole camp. And while Gideon was listening to this man interpreting the dream, he began to worship and praise God. And so he returned back to the camp of Israel, and he told his soldiers everything that he had heard. And he says, "Don't worry. The Lord is with us. Not only has he given us all these signs, he's also sent a sign even to the Midianites to make them scared, so that they know we are coming to destroy them. So let us go. Tonight we shall defeat the Midianites." And that's our Bible story for today, children. I've been your host, Reverend Jake Zabel. Goodbye and God bless.